give a round of applause, please, for Maria Teresa Kumar.
We have a lot of people right now, a lot of naysayers that America is on decline. And I actually say that the Latino community is a silver lining of where we're going in our future. Because we're young, we're workaholics, we believe in America when everybody else doesn't. Despite our economic difficulties and educational needs, we profoundly believe in what America is and the possibility and that immigrant belief. And it is because of that that I think that America's best days actually lie ahead. And these are some opportunities. 50% of the Latino vote is under the age of 40. We have roughly 1.2 million Latinos since the last election, 2010, to the coming election, that are going to be eligible voters. 50,000 Latino youth turn 18 every single month. That's a congressional seat, 1.2 million. Since 2008 to 2012, Latinos would have made up 2 more congressional seats. That's political power and opportunity. The 2012 election is going to be that much more exciting because that electoral map that you see here is done. Why? Because of the booming Latino population in states that people would never have imagined all of a sudden existed. Indiana, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Texas alone received 4 new electoral votes, 3 because of the Latino population. Now in 2012, we're going to see a lot of challenges to the ballot box. One is Acorn. Acorn, unfortunately, is no longer with us. It was defunded by Congress. But they represented 25% of all registered voters in 2008. They disproportionately registered Latinos and African Americans. Now, just as you saw the electoral map change because you saw all these new congressional districts in the states that I mentioned before, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, and the list goes on, unfortunately are passing very stringent anti-voter ID laws. The next crisis that no one's is talking about is the foreclosure rate. There are roughly 18 million people that were homeowners and voters in 2008. We have to find them and get them re-registered, and we also have to make sure that they have a valid ID. Most folks go, they don't think about losing their home and all of a sudden going to the DMV for a new ID. So we're working on how do we actually make sure that we get that message out. Way before the Arab Spring, you seem to forget that Latinos were among the first groups worldwide to organize via text messaging and MySpace. Young people organized back in 2006 when they felt that their families and their lifestyle and the fact that people were saying that they were not American were under attack. And they organized peacefully. 2 million people, the largest civil rights organizing in our nation's history. Technology facilitated it, they organized it, and they believed it. So what's going to happen when these 2 million plus start flexing their muscle at the ballot box? What's our possibility? So what is Voto Latino doing? We're going to start infusing technology, and I recognize it's a rough transition, but I'm almost running out of time. But what we're using is we're going to start using a lot of technology for both canvassers, but also young people themselves, so they can actually start spreading their ideas of voter registration, where they vote, where they can participate, and engage them with the candidates, but also issues for mobilization. And it's these opportunities that I believe that 2012 is going to be so interesting, because it's going to be an election not about a candidate, but about issues and about making it personal. Alabama just passed what the New York Times called one of the harshest immigration laws of the country. There have been incidents where young kids are getting pulled out of the classroom and asked for their immigration status, regardless if they're American or not, just simply being Latino. And it's those stories that are worth spreading, because that's what's going to galvanize not only Latinos, but Americans who really, truly believe that no one should be questioned about their Americanness by the color of their skin. When we start talking about the issues of jobs, ending the war, education, healthcare, environment, and small business, none of these pieces of legislation, of policy, that reflects the next century of America can be done without the Latino vote. People are constantly thinking that Latinos are a fringe group. You heard Fabio. You saw the 50 million. You saw where the growth is. It's not a fringe group. We're the next generation of Americans that are proud to be here and truly believe from the bottom of our belly that America's best days lie ahead of us. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much, David, for putting it together. Good, thanks.